Hi,
Hi there. Hello,
mate.
Kizzy.
How are you, my
Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. It's all exciting. It's all fantastic.
dear?
We've got our release tomorrow. Woo. So yeah, yes, we're really happy.
Tell us first where you come from, how you got to where you are now.
Wow.
What's
That
it?
we'll have to cut that the long story short, don't we?
Charmaine's story is
Hey,
is
I got me a cup of tea.
Got the time. You've got the time.
Charmaine's story is briefer than mine. You want to tell it? That
Oh, well, I've got to where we are now.
you come
Crikey.
from, well, Charmaine comes from the cliff. She's a Heartcliff girl. She's a proper Bristol lass. To the point where she does that certainly South Bristol thing of putting an extra L in, where one word ends in a vowel and the next word starts in a vowel. So, for example, in the morning she puts a bra on.
Oh,
So
that's good. That's
so that's where she's from.
Yeah, proper Bristol,
Oh,
proper
she's
Bristol.
Bristol all the way through.
I'm not so bad now. I think over the years, I think I've managed to eliminate some of the L's and R's and things. So
It still sneaks in.
it does, it does.
That's what makes
take it to our singing though. This is the question.
Yes, yes. Well, basically, God, I started out when I was 16. I wanted to be a singer, and then I was told of this magician that needed an assistant. So basically, I thought, fantastic, I want to do this. I want to get into that kind of entertainment. I can learn a lot of things, from that. And his name was Daniel Dean, by the way. I think you might know Daniel Dean.
Yes.
Um, yes, bless him, bless his little heart. So yeah, I worked with him for quite a few years, actually, probably about 5 years. And then I auditioned for Stars in Their Eyes.
Oh, I
And
remember that back in the day.
yes, I know. And it was for Mariah Carey at the
Yeah.
time. Yes, and I was only 19 years old. So I went for the audition and I was so nervous. It was the first audition I ever had, and it was really nervous. And I just knew that I flopped it straight away. But I found out that I was one of two to be chosen from Bristol for an audition, and they had 36,000 applicants that year. So
Wow.
that to me that was a bonus, that was a bonus. And then I went on audition with GMTV when I was 20, and then I flew to Malta and sang in the big competition over there, the music festival. And it was absolutely amazing. And I was one of 15 out of 100. It was absolutely amazing. And I was one of 15 out of 100 to be picked to go to that as well. And then I just carried on. And after that, I had my son, and that kind of life was doing its thing at the time, looking after children. And then I decided I just really want to get out there and push myself out doing music. And I can remember going back, I think it was probably about 10 or more years ago. I come to see you and I had an interview with you about how that was going. And I was going to London. I was meeting, the Pharrell Williams and the game, and it was just absolutely amazing. So I did that. And then shortly after that, I met the lovely Rohan here.
Yeah.
And then basically, yeah, I carried on doing my music with him. And then I sent a few tracks over to you, which you fabulously played on your radio shows and the open mic nights, which were amazing. Yeah, so I kind of got to that point in my life where I was kind of doing that. And then it ended up where we had a bit of a break. And had to we're moving and things like that, had a break, and then got back into kind of making our own sound, didn't we, from there? And then we came up with the name Sharomik, and we're releasing a track out tomorrow, and it's amazing. And yeah, it's that's kind of where we are now.
Tell us
um
about your process, what you're going through at the moment. Has it changed a lot? Has your way of thinking changed a lot? So,
oh, absolutely, a massive learning curve, you know compared to how I was like 10 years ago, and before that, I was quite naive at times, to kind of know what to do, how to approach things in the music industry, and how to approach people. And I've learned so much about that. And yeah, I think for anybody, it's all about experience.
Yeah.
It is about experience, I think. So yeah, I just think for people, just look up to other people. Don't ignore other people in the music industry. If people are trying to teach you things and tell you the way to go, take it on. Just take it on.
I think one of the things with music, right, is that it's a language everybody speaks. Doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, where you're from, you speak that language. You might not speak words, but you understand the language of music. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Apart from the incredibly rare people who are actually tone deaf, but they're a tiny, tiny, tiny proportion.
Yeah.
And but everybody else, they respond to music.
Yeah.
And if it's something you like, then yeah, great. But if it's something you don't like, then you're still responding to it. That response is still there. So music's the one thing. I mean, I trained as a scientist way back in the day, but ended up doing music because it's always been the one place where I felt like I can completely lose myself in it.
Yeah.
And it's I call it for years I've called it social lubricant.
Yeah.
Right, because of that thing, it's the language everyone speaks.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, you may not if you put two people together and they may not on paper they'd not get on. Why would they get on? They're completely different backgrounds. So you put music into the equation, and all of a sudden something happens.
Yeah.
And there's communication between people that nothing else comes close to.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm so blessed to actually be married to somebody I can share that with. Because I ran two studios, ran one in Cardiff for years, and I ran one in Bristol for years. And
you work with quite a lot of people as well.
I've done all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The
The list does go on.
All kinds of stuff. But I mean, now these days, studio is very much a more compact thing. But and one thing I learned in my early days is that you don't necessarily need all that fancy equipment. All you need is what's in here, and what's going on in there.
Yeah.
And if you know the right people, then they'll talk to you about it, and you'll pick up. Maybe they might not particularly like a thing, and it'll make you go, "Oh, I really think that," or they particularly like a thing and go, "Oh, I'll do more of that."
Yeah,
because and it's endless. It's an infinite thing.
It is.
It really is, and there's so many different types of music, and it's infinite. It's endless. It's magic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's the great leveler. It brings people together. It always has done. And that you have to keep that importance about music. It's not just a thing. But if you say about science, there's a lot of science around music where frequencies benefit us, they keep us healthy, or they can do the opposite. If we understand how frequencies work, imagine what we could do with music.
Yeah. I know. Music is therapy. Music is therapy. It really is. It's the one thing that kind of just helped me. Everybody has difficult times in their lives, of course, and it's the one thing that I can go to that just helps me through. It's amazing.
It's
amazing.
So personal. I mean, you could have two people that you think pretty much exactly the same, get them to listen to the same piece of music, and they hear something very different.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's so personal. It's and that again is
it's true. We love it. As you can see, we're so passionate about music. For what where we are now. We've got to a stage now where we're signed by a publishing company, and we've got a record deal as well.
Well done.
Yes. We're signed to the lovely Damon Summers and Mark Camplin of One Music Publishing and Sonic State Records.
Fantastic.
And it's just been amazing, the journey. And it's weird that we've got to this point now, you know, like we're older now. And, you know, when I last saw, I was kind of a spring chicken, so to speak. But it just proves it doesn't matter what age you are. Don't ever give up. Things can happen. Things do happen. And what I love about the music industry is that it's not so ageist. It's not so looks. This is like how it used to be. You know, you had to be this thin. You had to be, you know, it's changed so much.
Grown up.
It really has. It really has. And people are being listened to. They're being treated as equals rather than, you know, just feeling completely.
It is absolutely. It's partly down to people like us going, hang on a minute. Just because I'm older than you, just because I'm older than your father, doesn't mean I don't know a thing or two. Doesn't mean I still do stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
I mean, these days, I'm in a wheelchair, but that doesn't stop me doing things.
No. Well, this is one of the points that we kind of want to make as well. Really, is that, you know, there was a lot of stigma in the music industry as well about people that are disabled or got, you know, and they would never been looked at all. You know, nobody would have actually.
How do you think that changed? Because you're absolutely right. You had to size, you had to be a certain age, or even if you look young, like back in my day, the record company put you down in age, even if you was 20.
If you were over 25 or something, or 22, you know, and it's like, really? You know, you're still baby, you're still trying to learn at that point, you know. I think, you know, as time goes on, you have that experience, you have that wisdom, you know, and I think it's a shame that people get cut off at a certain age and then it's lost.
I think,
you know,
I think one of the problems could cause that is one of the worst forms of patriarchy. Yeah. That having worked in the music industry for a number of years, I've seen it. So, and if there's anything that can be done to level up and get more and make it less of a patriarchy and more even, more even, and it is starting to happen. It's starting to happen. I'm watching it like young. Oh, everyone's young to me, but young women who are coming through and just going, oh no, I'm not even an idiot. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it this way. Yeah, just because some guy in a suit in an office somewhere says you should look like this and it should be like this and music should go like that. No. I mean, the internet has opened so many doors. I mean, some of those doors probably could be shut, but but it has. It's true. It's made things possible. I mean, like Sharomik, for example.
That's who we are, Sharomik.
So it's mostly myself and Charmaine, Artie. It's mostly us, but we have musicians who are part of the project. One who lives in Northern Ireland, one who is he's from New Mexico, but now lives in Chippenham or Chippenham, and one drummer who lives in Ohio. Yeah, but because of the internet, it's made that happen. We can make music. Yeah, we can get together and be creative, and we don't need a slab of money to make that. No. And it used to be that you needed that slab of money, so you needed to play exactly the game that the men in the offices wanted you to play. Yeah. Oh, it's true. It's true. So it's a little bit of, but things are changing. Yeah, they really are, and I love it. I love it now. Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, going back, you know, when I was younger, there's no way that I would. How can I put it? If you look at where we are today, there's no way that they would kind of take somebody on older. You know, do you know what I mean? You know, back then, my age, they wouldn't even been looked at. And that's what I love about now, is that there is that change, and it is fantastic, and we love it because we're where we are now, and you know we're raring to go. We're just so happy. Yeah, well, we've got our first release, first single, come out on Friday. Tomorrow. it's tomorrow already.
Yeah, it's tomorrow already.
That's really good. But the next release is already pretty much decided on, and we're working on an album that's going to be released in the new year, and that's coming on beautifully as well.
Oh, it's amazing.
And it's just not trying to sound like anybody.
No.
Not trying to play into any particular genre. I mean, people say, what sort of music is that?
Well, it's we do say
it's a bit of this, a bit of that, and you put that, and you kind of mix it together, and
we put it down to kind of electronic funk stroke alternative. That's kind of what we are. Because it has elements of different things.
That's all sorts, and classical stuff, and there's just like whatever music feels like it's the right
it's
thing.
Kind of old, new, bits of old, bits of new, a bit of 80s, a bit of this, a bit of that. It's not just all 80s, you know. Some people say, oh, it sounds quite 80s, or it sounds like this. Especially with
Make a Step is quite an 80s feeling number.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's just an element of thing.
But this is what it's about, you know. Like, you know, take a step. This is our release tomorrow, and yeah, he's getting all excited.
No, well, can I just briefly explain this? Okay.
Sorry, because of his MS, he gets excited.
Progressive MS.
He
all right. So when the hormone cortisol goes up in my body, which is caused by excitement, it's literally, I've got my hands trapped under my armpits so that my arms don't flap about. But, oh, hey.
So I'll have to move away very quickly. So, so while Ray recovers, bless his little heart. So yeah, basically, you know, this track tomorrow, that's coming out. It's called Take a Step. We're called Sharomik. I'm going to keep saying it because we are. Basically, it's how can I put it? It's kind of got the 80s feel. It's kind of got it's got I think even if you've got like a bit of reggae or a bit soulful, you can kind of wind down to it and you can kind of get into the boogie of it. I'm just, you know, what's quite, you know, I'm so grateful for is that somebody really huge in the music industry basically heard it, and he actually said, do you know what this reminds me of? Kind of Nina Cherry stroke kind of Massive Attack, and it was like, wow.
Oh, Nina Cherry and Matt Johnson.
Yeah, we've had that as well, Matt Johnson. Out of the yeah. But it was so lovely, you know, from this guy who's actually part of our next release, actually. So a bit hush hush at the moment, more to tell later on. But for him to say that is fantastic, and you know, and I love Nina Cherry as well. And it's weird, and when I listened to it, it was kind of like, oh, actually, I can see what he's saying now. You know, I did never looked at it like that before. So basically, yeah, Rose just having a little moment.
Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm having.
But we're not going to hide the fact, you know, this happens. You know, it's like
there's a word that I've reclaimed. The word is spaz. Because I'm a spastic. Because when I spaz out, I turn into a plank.
Yeah.
My legs go straight, my whole body planks out, and I do this.
It's like he's sunbathing.
It's because of MS. And you've lived with this for a long time, but you still managed to do your music and get in.
Yeah. Well,
we do.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because without music, I would be utterly more broken than I am.
It's true.
It's a difficult thing because if I get too excited about anything, it gets more challenging. But hey, I'll get my feet.
Yeah, we sort it out. We get there.
But you know,
that's all part of.
It's the one place. It's the one thing if I'm making it particularly, performing, but partly, but making it particularly, I just disappear into that world, and everything else is gone.
Yeah.
Okay, we used to call my last year. We used to call it the therapy centre
because people came not just to sing half the time; they just wanted to talk. It was just to kind of clear their heads, and also, you know, with writing songs, as you know, you've got to dig deep into what, you know, which way they're going, their strategy of you know, what do they want to, which direction do they want to go, with the track. And I think if you can speak to them and get through those emotions, then the words come out, and it all kind of, you know. And there's always, even when you go into the booth to record, like some people, was really frightening. You know, I remember my first time in the booth, and it was, I was petrified, absolutely petrified. But even when they go in there, you know, I say to them, like, you know, just pretend it's acting, just think it's acting, you know, you're acting, that's all you're doing. You know, and you know, all these words that you've got in front of you, read them, pretend that you're that person, feel how it can connect to you. And then when we did that with people, they had the takes that we got from were absolutely amazing, because they were able to just relax a bit more, and they had to focus on lots of other things. And that's kind of what it is, though.
And that way,
you know, it's
part of people's natural personality comes out, rather than just doing by the numbers and reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just so that it becomes more personal then.
Yeah, it's true.
Rather than just trying to do a copy of what somebody else has done.
Yeah.
It's finding that feeling in it. I think.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
That you've got, Charmaine. Did you find it easy to pull together with the ideas with you already, or was it something that you had to work at, or did it just flow? Did the vibe just flow?
Sorry, I missed the very, very beginning of what you said there.
It's a ramble on for half an hour, isn't it?
I know.
What did you say?
Yeah, sorry.
Got your song that's coming out.
Yes.
With writing it, did you have to dig deep in yourself, or was it something that flowed quite easily? How did you put it together?
I think with this track, it kind of flowed, didn't it? With Take a Step, I think it really did flow. Now the first track that we did start working on was the track called How to Live, which is out, you know, the one that's coming next after this release. And there was a hell of a lot of thought process. There was a lot of emotional aspects in there. You know, but there was a lot, wasn't there? For both of us, I think. Because the break that we had, and then we came back into it. That was quite a real. It was quite touching, you know. Whereas with Take a Step, because we've kind of been, you know, there's been like 3 years now, you know, we just put on the album and stuff. And with Take a Step, this kind of flowed. And obviously we always have a concept. We always have a concept, and we can kind of relate to it in certain ways. But there's, with our music, I think, and also the words, sometimes not very direct, but you can make it what it feels like to you personally. You know, when you hear a song, and it could be many things, and they're not stating the obvious, you know? And that's what I kind of like about it, is that it catches somebody somewhere in their lives where it takes it somewhere personally for them, you know?
For people to interpret, it's kind of...
Yeah.
Because people aren't idiots, but not everybody's an idiot. And they find unless you make it blatantly obvious to people, which is fine. A lot of people write like that, and that's fine. That's fine to write like that.
Yeah.
But we prefer to try and write so that there's
a connection for everybody.
For people to actually think about it and make it personal to them. Because when they figure out the metaphorical nonsense, when they figure something out, then it's theirs. It's all theirs. The image that they make in their head is totally unique to them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that's what you kind of want to achieve. You know, I think it's important, rather than it just being a one-way street with a track and it's kind of so obvious. But you know, there's a lot of tracks out there that are fantastic. You know, we're not putting that down. By any, you know, a lot of people have done that for years and years and years. But it's just, we just like to kind of make it just like a little bit more open, you know, that little bit more kind of like wide, and you know. So we've been working hard. We've been working hard.
Take a step. I think it
away.
originated from just put some music together and then just vibed with that, and then just one little line came out. Just came out. Sometimes you do just doodly doodly doodly, and then a couple of words pop out with it, and it goes.
It's weird how it kind of happens. It's like magic.
Those two words. That's what we. And then you've got a foundation to build off, and take it wherever you want to take it.
Brilliant. Yeah. But yeah, it's like magic. It's like magic. I love it. Music is magic, and magic is music.
Yes. Well, we've got a couple of minutes left, so I just want to ask you, what advice would you give out to those that are trying to do what you're doing? They're trying to release singles, or they're writing music and they're feeling a bit low in the day. I can't do this kind of thing. How would you sort of advise them? What would you say to encourage them?
I would say you've just got to have faith. Do not lose faith, because there were times when I felt like I was going to in the past, because you know it's hard work, you know, and you have to work hard. You know, you really do have to be committed as much as you possibly can. But yeah, just have faith. Just keep pushing. You're going to get knockbacks. You know, you're going to get knockbacks. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. You're going to get people try to, you know, screw you over, so to speak. You know, in certain ways. And you know, you just have to keep the faith and keep charging, keep working, keep that pressure up. You know, because it will happen. It definitely will happen. Because if just don't give up. That's all I can say, is just don't ever give up. Doesn't matter what age you are or whatever, what you're going through, just do not give up.
There, you've heard it. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
And the thing I'd like to say, just from the point of view of the musician, producer, whatever, is that when you do something, and when you do a piece of music, you're always going to be your own greatest critic, because you know where all the errors are.
It's true.
Whereas most people will not hear that.
No,
they just hear the thing, and they don't hear the errors. They just hear the thing. Stop beating yourself up and. Just,
I used to go. When I was younger.
Just go. Oh no, somebody likes that. I must be doing something right. I'm not doing everything wrong. I mean, there's always things to make better, and it can always be better, and that's the thing. It's infinite. You can always do better. But doesn't mean what you've done is.
No,
it doesn't mean that.
No.
It's just a step on the way to where you're going.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Where can we get your single? Tell us again the name of the single. Where can we get it?
Well, basically the track is called Take a Step. We are called Sharomik. And it's out tomorrow. It's available on all platforms. Yeah. So Spotify and everywhere. Yes. So we're really looking forward to that. And it's my birthday on Tuesday. So it's like a birthday present. Perfect timing.
21.
I know. 21.
Again.
I know, again. I think it's probably about the 5th time now. I think it's.
We're going to stop there, but I hope that we can come back to this and see how it's done. And
absolutely.
Going to do next. It's an exciting journey, and
it really is.
Happy that you've come to me and we've been able to do this little interview. So
it's been a pleasure.
It really, really has, Kizzy. Thank you so much for having us. You know, it's hand on heart. You know, you're an absolutely amazing, beautiful person, and you always have been. And I've known you for a very, very long time now. So thank you.
I look forward to it.
Thank you. Bless him.
I know.
It's your